A jointer is only as good as the knives in its cutter head. But let's face it, nobody likes sharpening or replacing them. You've got the hassle of taking them out, you're going to be without them for a few days or weeks while at the sharpening service, and then you've got the hassle of reinstalling them, and that's a whole art in itself. Hendrik Vahu, a professional woodworker near Toronto in Canada, has come up with a better way. With a simple shop-made jig, he has learned how to sharpen the knives while they're still in the machine. Let me show you how. Before you begin work on the machine, first step is to unplug it. Critical to the whole operation is to secure the cutter head while you sharpen each knife. And to do that, Vahu came up with this very simple jig. It's simply a small block of hardwood with a 1/4-inch dowel, and what that does is it fits into this opening in the rabbiting ledge of the infeed table. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to remove this safety guard while I'm working on it because it gets in the way. To obtain the proper micro bevel, you'll want to have the jointer knife positioned just after the apex of its travel. To do this, raise the infeed table to its maximum height. Now position the cutter head so that the knife you'll be sharpening is at the apex of its arc and fit the locking jig in place. Next, lower the infeed table approximately 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. As you do this, the knife connected to the jig will rotate clockwise and downward. You'll want to move the knife from approximately the 12 o'clock position to about the 1 o'clock position. With the infeed table set correctly and the cutter head at the proper position, now's the time to work on the outfeed table. To protect the table from the sharpening stones, I cover the first 12 inches or so with some packing tape. If you plan on doing a bit of heavier honing, you may want to use an adhesive plastic laminate sheet for this. Now lower the outfeed table until the block of wood just touches the knife. A slip of paper should just fit beneath the wood at the start of the outfeed table. With my table set, I'm ready to hone. I begin with a 600 grit diamond stone positioned on the knife with about half its length on the outfeed table. Draw the stone back towards the outfeed side, stopping just before the end of the stone. Repeat the process, checking with a magnifying glass until you've achieved a small bevel across the entire length of the knife. Now use a 1200 grit stone and repeat the process. Once you're satisfied with the result, take out the jig, rotate the cutter head to the next knife and lock it down again. Well, that's all 3 knives satisfactorily honed, so let's get this jointer reset and we'll start cutting some wood. Okay, that's a big improvement. It's a much smoother cut than what I was getting before. This won't remove completely the need to occasionally send your knives out for sharpening if you get a big nick in them. But what it will allow you to do is to keep your knives much sharper for much longer.